What's up? Patrick LaRouche here from Evolve Restorative Therapy. You can find me at livepainfreeprocess.com. I have a pain-free concierge service that does miraculous things, bringing people back out of a painful situation, back out of physical pain, mental pain, as well as emotional pain. I do that using my Live Pain-Free process that gives you actual tools and a plan to bring yourself back to a youthful state, back into a clearer mindset, as well as a stable emotional state. And today what we're going to be talking about is how I pulled myself out of depression real fast. I wouldn't call it a full-blown depression per se, but believe it or not, I do have a lot of depressive qualities, like that could put me into a depressive state fast. And I learned early on in my life that I cannot let that happen at all costs. So today what I want to talk to you about is how I got out of depression fast. And this was a story that's ridiculously recent, and I want to share it while it's fresh and to show people how fast you can break that cycle, that downward spiral. So first things first, depression in my eyes is an inward cycle of looking within yourself and being super duper critical on what's happening within yourself and not being able to break that cycle. So you energetically looking in and you also looking in and being not negative to yourself, but hypercritical about what's happening in your life, what's doing this, and whatever the case may be, that's going to put you in a downward spiral. That downward spiral keeps you there. And what you have to do is break that spiral and then work your way back up. So I want to rephrase this and get you to realize that I broke this cycle ridiculously fast, and that's why I was able to break my depression really, really fast, because I caught it really early. And this is the first thing I want you to realize. The reason why I broke it early is because, number one, I know myself. I know what makes me tick. I know the biggest thing, that I have these qualities. And I understand how I feel at all times and what's happening and all the precursors that lead to where I am. That means I have benchmarks of where I am energetically. Is this a good place or a bad place? As well as how much energy do I have left. Now I'm talking about emotional energy, what I'm looking at myself. How much energy do I have left? And then two, what you have to do is learn the things that you need to do to break that cycle. So the way that I learned about myself in this instance is I actually had a hand analysis done that told me I had this trait. And whenever I do this specific thing and I'm really good at this, the flip side of that is I can take on these emotions that will overtake me. So I have to consistently be happy and on top of myself so I can consistently have an upward spiral. And if something does take me down, I don't go below that energy benchmark. Does that make sense? So I want you to really start looking at yourself, feeling where you are, so you can start making those steps, that chart, let's say. Then number two, what are the things that get you out? So what normally get me out of a state is me doing things physically, me getting more verbal affirmations, all these different things that feed me and make me happy. I know what makes me happy, so it's easy for me to say, I can do this, I can hang out with my boys, I can actually go have a dinner with Michelle, I can hang out with the family. I know exactly the things that make me happy. I can do those things, right? So number one, I caught myself really, really early. Number two, I started attacking those things that make me feel better remarkably fast. But this is the fun part of this story. None of those things were working. Now, that's where everything took the turn for the worse, because I did go below my standard of energetic, emotional living, and I knew I was going down. So if you make it to this place, you have to work your way through it. Don't try to stop it. Work your way through the process, because once you're in it, you're in it. You have to work through it, because if you keep on trying to put the brakes on, you're actually slowing down and you're staying in that place. don't. It's very hard to get out once you lose momentum. So what I had to do, this is me personally, I don't know if that's going to work for you, is I had to flip it out. I had to now, instead of being an introvert, I had to be extremely extrovert. I had to do something in an adrenaline fashion. I had to go out. And we were lucky enough, I was lucky enough, to have the nor'easter that passed through here, where it was really stormy. It wasn't snowy. It wasn't really bad here. But we had high winds. We had a lot of rain. It was hard to see. And it took a lot of me to look outward and say, I am here. I'm present, and I need to be out, looking out. And that got me to shift the energetic aspect, using my adrenaline, using my foresight to see what needs to happen. And it's something as easy as that. Putting yourself in the world, working yourself through your issue, knowing where you are and pushing through something external is what broke my cycle. And then all those other things started working. Me being with my family, me doing things with my family is what normally breaks everything. Once I did those things, snapped just like that. But the key thing is I caught myself really early and started doing my troubleshooting rather quickly. So if you don't do that, you lose. You're going to be pulling at straws here. You're going to be trying to do everything that needs to that you can do rather than sequencing it, seeing what's working. So number one, catch it really early. Number two, know yourself well enough that I know what makes me happy. And this is not just random. This is specifics. I know if kissing my wife makes me happy, hugging my wife makes me happy, sitting down on the couch makes me happy. All those things. Do those things. Number three, if those things are not working, look at a different source. Look at how you can break that internal introvert aspect into an extroverted aspect. Do something outside physical that's going to get your body really pumped. And we're not talking about just go out for a jog. It has to be a hard jog, something that's going to force your body to shift. That's the name of the game. So that's how I broke that cycle. Hopefully this actually helps you, because this is actually one that's dear to my heart and something that I do consistently. And that's what's up, folks. That's literally learning how to live and move pain-free, because problems are bound to happen. If you don't think you're going to have problems, you got nothing coming, because then you'll get problems and don't know what to do with it. I expect it, so I watch for it, and I clean it up extremely fast. Until next time, later.